Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Everyone, hope you're doing well and great. Today I'm here to tell you about how to get a driving license in New Zealand or how to convert your overseas driving license to New Zealand driving license. So stay tuned till the end of the video guys. First of all, to get into New Zealand, you don't need a New Zealand driving license. If you have your overseas driving license, you can easily drive in New Zealand within 12 months. So before that, you have to apply or convert your existing driving license to New Zealand driving license. For that, what you have to do is that you have to go to AA Center and take a form. So this is the form. What we have over here is the DL5. So application for conversion of overseas license, driving license. This is what you have to get, and first you have to fill this form. For that you need your overseas driving license original hard copy. Also you need to get your passport. Why? Because you don't have a New Zealand passport, so definitely you need identity. In my case it was Indian driving license and Indian passport, so both of that I got with this form filled. So let's see what's in this form. So this is the form for the application for conversion of an overseas driving license. I'm sorry, there's a lot of wind blowing. So what all details you have to fill it up. So the first one is the driving license number, but obviously you don't have your New Zealand driving license. That's what you are applying for. So ignore this. You just write what's your name. Then you have to write your details, whether would you like to donate your organs in the event of death, your date of birth, where do you live, and your mailing address is to be mentioned. Would you like your address to be printed on the license? Wow, if you are here living in a tenant, so you no need to tick that way because your address keeps on changing. If you have a permanent address like you own a house, so it's better to tick this, so that would be a address proof or the ID proof for you. So what's your contact number? You should write your contact number and your email ID. That's very important. And here are your details of the overseas license details. So what are your overseas license details? The name of the issue, state or country, license number, issue date, and expiry date. And what's the date of your most recent arrival in New Zealand. So from the date of arrival, you can easily drive with your current overseas license for up to 12 months. And you need to bring your original overseas license and the required documents. As I told you, the required documents, I'll just turn up and show it to you. So you need to bring a completed application form over here and your original overseas driving license. This must be current or expired less than 12 months, or else you need to apply for a fresh New Zealand license. And if your license isn't in English, please provide the original written translation. That's important. Evidence of identity. So you can provide, in case of mine, it was overseas driving license along with overseas passport, the Indian passport which I applied for. And when you write your details over here, mention it, what type of license you are applying for, whether it's a class 1, class 2. So in my case it was a class 1, so I had applied for a class 1 driving license. And if you have if you can or want to convert it to others, you obviously can apply for the class 2, 3, 4, 5, depend on yours. So you have to tick for the full one, the class 1 full license. Why? Because if you are having a full overseas license, then you are applying for a full license. But if you have any medical declaration, you have to mention it over here. Medical certificate, if you have to provide, if you are turning 75 years of age. So these all details you have to fill. Whether you are wearing a glasses or contact lenses, you should mention over here, and the declaration. So fill this up. And I will also recommend you, also the AA centers will recommend you to get a high quality color photocopies of all the original documents, or else you can also get it over there, but you have to pay them extra. But it's better to get it prior, whatever documents you are carrying apart from the application. If you have your glasses, contact lenses, wear them. And your payment, if it is EPOS or in cash, get it. And I will also tell you what are the countries which are exempted. Like, these are the countries, I guess you can see it clearly, are exempt countries. So if you have an Australian driving license, straight away you're converted to a New Zealand driving license. I guess you will get a New Zealand driving license within 21 days. If it is Austria, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France, so these all countries you can easily convert into your New Zealand driving license without any hassle. Means you need not to write any learning test, or you need not to do any practical test. In my case, as I am from India, I need to give a learner's test, theory test, then also a practical test. Why? Because India is not mentioned in these countries. So the exempt countries have similar driving standards to New Zealand and are exempt from some of the requirements, so convert into New Zealand driving license. So these are the instructions which is all clearly mentioned in the DL5 form. And as you have, if you have a non-exempt country mentioned over here, then you have to sit for the theory as well as a practical test to get a full New Zealand driving license. In my case, it was a class 1 driving license. And if you are ready with the test, you can get this form along with you to the AA center, and after submitting it or applying for the overseas conversion, you can just ask them whether they have any slot for the theory test. So preparing your theory test, you can get a road code, New Zealand road code book from the AA centers, or you can easily get in Facebook Marketplace if any of them are selling it in a lower price. So that might cost around $25 to you. Or else, in my suggestion, you have to go with the Drive app. So there's a app, Drive. I'll just share a link in the description below, so that you can get into that and learn all the New Zealand driving codes, the rules, and immediately you also have a test in that. So you can scale yourself where you are up to, what all you have learned with that drive test. So the book seems good, but it was not quite helpful for me. So I suggest to go with app, so that you can know where you are, your learning level, and you can improve by yourself. Sorry for the bad sound outside. What I was saying is that when applying for a theory test, be prepared. So get on to the Drive app, learn the complete module, then you have a fair idea what's the road codes of New Zealand, and you will also get a demo test where you can know where you stand. And there's 35 questions in the theory test of New Zealand to get a New Zealand learner's license. I mean, it's an entry for our overseas conversions. So for that, you need to clear 33 out of 35. So if you get 33, you're passed, or else again you have to pay the amount. I'll just mention the amount for the theory test over here, so check it out. And be well prepared, and go to the AA website, where you can get 3 to 5 of the test by paying some amount. It might be $15-20, so you can know before where you are, where you need to improve, and that will be the same question. So once you are well prepared with the road code, and you have tried the Drive app questions, after that, take this demo test and try to score. So these are, most of the questions will be the same for the theory test. So you just acknowledge those questions or remember those questions. The same questions will be coming up for the theory test, and by doing that, you will be through with the theory test. So immediately you can go to the AA center while taking up this form and ask for them if they have any slot for the learners. Most of the time they have the slot, so wait for 10-15 minutes and you can straight away write the theory test over there, and you can immediately get your result, whether you are passed or failed after completion of the test. So you will be shown where you are, how many questions you are done right, done wrong. So immediately you come to know whether you are qualifying for the theory test. So after the theory test, I guess it takes 21 days for you to get a card. So the card will be like this. I'll just showing you as a rough image, and there will be your license number, your version. So version also, there will be some limitations, like in my case the limitations was I can't drive in the night after 10, I mean after 11, I guess, when 11 to 5 in the morning. So after those were the restrictions or a restricted time for me. Apart from that, I can take my car, and whenever if I am traveling, I should have someone with a full license, or else you can take your spouse or children. That's absolutely fine. If it is apart from your spouse, you should always have a person with you. If you have restricted restrictions in your license, you should have a person who has a full license. So after you receive your learner's test, if you are through with the to apply it or to sit for the practical test, you can straight away apply. Why? Because it takes 21 days. Keep your road codes in mind, and drive practice in your center area. Like in my case, it was Mankau. So be well aware of the routes, or else what all hurdles will be there at the time of the test. Most of the time, you will be having traffic, so never choose a time in the morning where the traffic is very heavy, it's full of cars on the roads, or else never take in the afternoon or after 3. So they are timings mentioned most of the time. So you should be booking your test before, so that you get the appropriate time. So in my case, what I suggest is that any time between 11 to 1 or 1:30 is fine. Within those 11 to 1, you won't find those slots while booking your practical test. You can go to the link, I'll mention it in the description, and you can book your test by yourself online. Only thing you need to enter is your driving license number, your last name, and your date of birth, and everything will be shown. You have to pay $59, $60 exactly for the practice to appear for the practical test, and the date and the time and the center you have to choose. So you have to appear in VTNZ, the testing point, and the practical test for the full license is 30 minutes. So that 30 minutes include the inspection of the vehicle. So you should have a current rego, valid rego, and a valid WOF, and the instructor will check all the lights, the indicators, the horn. After checking that, he will get onto your car and he will ask you, just follow my instructions, and you will also be asked what are the hazards on the roads. So be well prepared. See few of the videos on YouTube. And in my case, I'm terrible with the test. I was very confident in the beginning, so I said, okay, the road codes are done, and I passed the theory test, and I've been driving quite since a lot of time on the New Zealand roads. Let's give a try. So I was overconfident, I can say, and got onto the test, and I failed. Yes, I failed. There was very silly mistakes which I made. The silly mistakes, you won't be considering it as a mistake. In my case, that was signaling. I have done the signaling. It was like when you cross a roundabout, you have to signal it up, and as you are, if you are going straight, you should signal and it should continue. In my case, the signal went off, and that was a critical error. So 2 critical error and you're failed for your test. And you should also maintain the speed. Always check the mirrors, the MIB, mirrors, indicator, blind spot. That's what one of my instructor told me. This is very important when you drive. So the mirrors, indicators and blind spot. You should be always watching your mirrors every 5 seconds. Keep eye on the road and the hazards. When they will be asking, you will be saying, I can see a car in front of me, maintain safe distance. I can see a car back of me, so having an eye. I'm keeping left, I'm keeping right. So these are the words which you should use in the hazards. And when the instructor asks you to stop, stop. Talk less and concentrate on your driving. That's my tip. And it took a couple of attempts for me, and finally I got my driving license. And still I did mistake, but as I was checking MIB, Men in Black, like mirrors, indicator and blind spot, the instructor was good, and he gave me a full license. So these are the things you should and while parking, you will also be asked to do a parallel parking. So indicate, look at the mirrors, the blind spot. That is very important when you drive. So here, driving in New Zealand is very easy. Only thing is that you have to follow the rules. The giveaway rules is very important. Always check where you are on the roads. If there's a stop sign, you should completely stop. If you are moving on a stop sign, if your car is moving a little bit, that's a critical error. You will get a fail. So concentrate on these things. A few things might sound silly, but these are the things most of the instructors are looking for. And I can say there was a survey. So more than 35 to 40,000 people fail in their test. So on an average, you can see how many people fail a test. So $60 is the amount you should have to pay for the driving test. So be well prepared. As if you don't have anyone with you, take an instructor. I mean, take the help of someone who are well aware of the road rules. In my case, I have chosen Social Driving Academy. I'll also mention the link below. So there you have Munib. He's very helpful. And in my case, Munib was very busy, so he has sent one of his colleague, Ranjod, and he has guided me. So if you are not confident where you are doing any mistakes, try to get a help from a professional, a trainer or an instructor. You can book it online and choose an hour so that they come to know, they sit with you and spend time with you while driving, and they'll give you a report exactly how the driving instructor says at the practical test. And you can learn from your mistakes. That's what all you need. So I have approached Social Driving Academy. So Munib was very helpful and arranged for my practical test. And I found my mistake. That was the blind spot checking. And I tried to keep an eye on that, and that helped me a lot. So you should be driving 100 hours plus after you get your learner's license or a theory test license. And if you're like applying for the first time for the New Zealand driving license, then you have to go for the theory test, then you get a learner's license, then you have to get a restricted license. For the restricted license, it's like 1 hour driving. So the instructor will be with you for 1 hour. Then the restricted driving license, you should drive for quite long. I'm not sure for how long, but since I guess most of them drive for 6 to 8 months or about a year. After that, you have to apply for the full license. So if you get a full license, then it's great. These are the rules to follow. And check out the videos on YouTube. Social Driving Academy has posted a lot of videos on YouTube, so you come to know what exactly goes around when you appear for a practical driving test. Apart from that, most of the things I have shared with you guys. And if you get a driving license, New Zealand driving license over here, that's your identity, that's your ID proof of New Zealand. That's a very big thing, even for to get a lot of jobs. Why? Because most of the jobs, they will be asking you a full driving license. So driving license is a must over here. Why? Because each and every person has a car. If you want to get or move from one place to another to work, you need a driving license or a car. Or else, if you have a driving license and if you don't have a car, some of the companies have provision of providing cars. So driving license is very important to get a job in New Zealand. So that's all, guys. Hope you guys like this video and find it informative. If you really like this video, kindly subscribe and motivate me to do more videos in future.